there is a type of function that acts as a value. So this is a value. We can define a function, say hello. So for example, it just will print some any messages you use in your program. Okay, and let's type hello. Okay. Okay, now please tell me what's wrong with that. If I run, why I am not getting the printed lines? Why?
It's not been called?
Yes, it's not being called or it's not being invoked. So if I type here say, okay, say hello, okay, then I run again. So you can see down below, I type, so I printed. So in this way, the function acts as a kind of procedure. In this way, the function acts as a function, as a value. It's a return a value. Now let me finish some few more things in Python. Please recall here. Let's say that in your, as a software engineering principle, I like Python. Please tell me more about these arguments. Can you tell me now if we work together and I write this code and you ask me, Joseph, what is 1 and what is 4? And I ask you, try to understand it. Is there any chance that you understand what is the 4 and what is the 1 without seeing the function? It's difficult. Yeah?
Arguments?
Yeah. The arguments you understand 1 and 4, but for what? So we can in Python type A equal 1 and B equal, okay? Let us say this is equation of, okay? So I can type A equal 1, B equal 4, so that it's more clear. And as you can see, I used this invocation to indicate for Python that please use A. So this is for to be more clear, okay? Now if I run the code, I will get the same thing. Let me clear the output and run the code again. Okay, as you can see, I got 5. There is a very handy way for Python. Okay, you can assign a default value. So let us say I can type here A equal 5 and B equal, let's say 9. Then I can run, please look at this. Okay. Okay, please look at this. The sum of work in 2 arguments, A and B. Calculating the sum and returning it. But here I adjust A by default 5 and B by default 9. Now, when I am calling the function, I do not have to pass any parameter, which is cool in Python. So let me run it. And as you can see, let me clear that. Let me running again. As you can see, what I didn't print Y. Print Y. So let's run it again, and you can see 14. Why I got this result? Because 5 and 9 by default value of A, and we got this one. Now, someone say, Joseph, let me send not the default value of B. Let us say B equal to 5, which is a handy, as you can see. Okay, we clear that and run again. all these things I have written in the document. So it is 10. How I get that is because I send the value for the parameter B to be 5. 5 is the argument. So now B is no more, will not act as a value with a value 9. So I can say for here, for another example, let me clear here. Run code, okay? So I got 6, okay? Now if I want to change the both, I can say A equal 8 or 88. Now I run, and as you can see, I got another result. And the last thing I want you to notice that even though, okay, the parameters here, we decided the A be the first and the B the second, when I call the function, I can freely write which argument I want to send it the value. It's not. It is not. It doesn't matter here. So this is very handy. This is all about function, and all of these things I also write inside the. Let me share. Okay, so this is the return. As you can see here, this is the example that I write. Okay, this is example design function with parameters, use a return, and call function to understand how I am writing my tutorial. Okay, so variable scope is one of the interesting thing to understand. Please see here, x equal to 3, yeah? But I have other variable called z or z, and I call the function f. This is the function f, but I call it with the value of x. Now here I have x, but here I have other x. So how things is going here? So we call this variable scope. Now here I define x in this function. So x here is not the x here. Everyone has its own context. So when I send the value of x here, this will be 3 and will not, okay, be x. So here we got 3 for this x. So this is the f scope. This is the f scope. It has its own x. And this is the global scope. Who is the global scope? The file, the program, the global scope. You have your sum code related to f, and this is the x. This is the x. This is the value of x. And when you send fx, you mean by that f3. So this is the f3, okay? And then the 3 here will use to calculate x here, which is x in the scope of the function, and then we print it. Now at the end of this demonstration, if we look at the memory of the Python, we can say two things. X is still as 4, but x in the global scope is 3. Now, as the program finish processing this part of code, Python will delete this piece of code from the memory, and we end up with just 1x here. Okay, so this is a thing that you need to notice. What is the importance of something like that? Well, you don't know who is writing f. You can work as a teamwork, okay? And someone writing f, you writing g, and everyone can send his own, okay, variables to that function without knowing what is going inside, okay? You just have your own parameters with your global scope, and the function has its own